Alright, here you go guys. Just want to let you know I'm in Herat and everything's going well. Sorry about the beginning of the tape there, but I had to make sure the camera worked. Hi Thomas. Hi Ricky. Hi Mike. How's everything? I hope everything's going well. You're in our talk right now in Herat, Afghanistan, and everything's going great. I want to show you my head.
Like 1870.
I think you can see it. I hope you can see it. But everything's going really well. And I miss you guys.
Before he left, I gave him a little wooden box, and I took all these family pictures and I cut them out so that they would fit in the box. And then when he would go to these villages, he would show them to the villagers, just so, you know, to say, hey, this is my family, tell me about your family. They show some boxes of things that were mailed to his unit, to Mike's aviation unit, that were intended to be distributed to the locals. And it could have been school supplies or blankets. It was really kind of humanitarian peace operations. He would go to the villages, and he came from a family of 6 kids, and he had 27 nieces and nephews, and he was like the favorite uncle. So he would always play with the kids. That was just how he was. He was just a big kid himself. He gave his hat to one of the local boys, and the boy gave him his hat. That's one of the common tribal hats. He actually, a number of those were sent home in his personal effects, so they had been given to him by people while he was there.
What is the significance of that hat?
So the significance is the history.
Look, sir, I'm a private, you know that.
The significance is the history of the cavalry squadron and cavalry units in the United States Army. For ceremonial events such as this, our command allows us to wear this Stetson in pride and honor of our proud history in cavalry operations.
Well, I'm proud of you, and thank you very much for your hospitality.
Thanks for being here, Geraldo.
All right.
All Cav.
Okay, all Cav. Okay, what do you say, Cav? All Cav.
A little dusty now, to clean it off a bit, but this is called a Cav Stetson, so it's traditionally worn by cavalry troops instead of the common military headgear. So, and usually what they'll do is they'll put their unit insignias on the back. These are the aviation wings. These are just different units he's belonged to. And you can actually tell the officers wear the gold braid, and then the enlisted soldiers wear black. So you can tell. So, let's see what else we got. You guys going through some of the videos and pictures is going to give me an opportunity to perhaps see some things that I haven't ever had the opportunity to see. So I'm excited about that. It's a great way to kind of remember him and share that with my boys. So I appreciate the fact that you're giving me the opportunity to do that. Oh my gosh! I've never seen this picture. This is a heart-shaped box that Mike was intending to give to me. It actually came back in his personal effects. And I think he must have just purchased it from this guy. There's all these different inlaid stones in the shapes of like different flowers. You can kind of see it right in the top there, but it's in the shape of a heart. So I keep a lot of, little jewelry stuff in there on my bureau, on my dresser bureau.
Okay, we're filming here in western Afghanistan. The truck's getting across the riverbed, trying to get inside. The guys are inviting me into the truck because I rode with them yesterday. I'll probably ride with them all the way back, but I wanted you to see the depth that Humvee's going to get in and out. That's amazing shit.
Stuff.
Alright, watch the Humvee. Now the Humvee's gonna go through. He's swimming! That's red, 4. Woo!
I think this is why his soldiers liked him, because he found the fun stuff
Take
in
me
just
to
little
the
things.
river. He's creating a wake. That's amazing.
This
I
is
think
Mike's
that's the last
voice.
time
Yes.
we
That's the first time I've
And there's
ever
my
heard that.
buddy. Say, Salam alaikum. Salam. Very good.
Wow, that's neat.
CBS News honors fallen heroes Mike McMahon, a squadron commander, or SCO. He had so much energy they called him SCO-Bot. He liked flying and surfing and making pizza from scratch. A man of great faith, he was devoted to his soldiers and his family. After he died in a plane crash in Afghanistan, a member of his Boy Scout troop said he made kids feel we could do anything.
Oh. Huh. I think I saw that once, but I'd forgotten about it. After Mike died, they notified me that they were going to have a memorial service at the church at the base. We were in Hawaii. And so a few days later, the boys and I went to this church for this service, and there were hundreds of people there. And so, you know, my youngest, Ricky, was 4 years old at the time. And, you know, and he was just very active. And so I told him, I said, if you behave during church, I'm going to let you ride your scooter, you know, in the parking lot afterwards. When we came outside, there was a huge crowd of the media and photographers. So we were just kind of standing there, and I told my son, I told Ricky, I said, all right, you can go right over there in the parking lot and you can ride your scooter. So he gets his little, you know, Razor scooter, and he's doing laps and circles. And we're just standing there in front of these photographers and reporters with my two older sons, and there wasn't really any military people around to tell us what to do, you know, and all of a sudden Ricky rode up on his scooter, and he's right in front of me, and he just started talking to them.
When Daddy was on the airplane, it didn't fly in the right place. It crashed.
So now my dad's an angel in heaven, and he's gonna light up the stars tonight, and he just was so incredible. I hadn't shielded him from anything per se. I mean, I'd explained him what had happened, but I didn't really think that he kind of took it all in. And for him to be the family spokesman, you know, at that point was just amazing. Fast forward, now we finally get home that evening, and I'm just trying to, you know, put things away and put him to bed, and it's pretty late, and probably 10, and you know, he's usually in bed at 7, and he's like, Mom, we got to go out and look at the stars tonight. And I'm like, oh yeah, right, okay. So I pick him up, and we had a large patio, and we're walking outside, and it was a little covered, it was like a covered patio, and then you were outside, so I could see the sky outside, and I realized it was completely overcast. There's no stars. It's completely clouded over. So as I'm walking out, in my head, I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to, explain this to this 4-year-old? Because he told everybody my dad's going to bring out the stars tonight. And so in my head I was thinking, well, I'll say something like, well, you can see in the clouds. What do you see in the clouds? And as we walked, like it was only 10 feet maybe, 10 steps from the back door, through this covered patio outside, it was like an arm went like this to the clouds. You could just see the sky literally cleared in about 10 seconds. This just cleared. And then full, and to his credit, he saw that. I didn't think he noticed it, and he saw it, and he said, and he looks at me and he goes, see, Mom, I told you he'd bring out the stars tonight.
I don't necessarily remember giving the interview itself. That was a really long time ago. What I do remember is watching it after the fact, and I remember talking about my dad, like his service to his country, however a 4-year-old could describe it, and kind of where he is now and where he is gone, which I think is interesting, to kind of see what I was thinking as a child. When I think about why I want to join the military, which is often considered perilous and a not easy life, as one might say, I not only think about my long family history of military service, but I also think about my mom and my dad, who have sacrificed more than I can ever attempt to comprehend. And that sacrifice that they made has a real impact on what I want to do in my life.
Luckily enough, I was able to come back here for an assignment after that happened, which was a great family assignment for my kids. And then I wound up, Storm King is so close, it seemed like a natural progression. So I was able to, teach and coach at Storm King, and my son, 2 of my 3 sons went to Storm King and got to experience the great, environment of that kind of community. So it's been a great life so far. I'm enjoying it, and intend to keep doing it. I was approached by a gentleman who had been contracted to write a book for National Geographic about veterans, and he has written a number of books, and so he wanted to interview me about Mike, and I thought, oh, that's great. They're going to profile a story about Mike, and it was a nice picture. But actually, what I didn't know was he was actually profiling me, unbeknownst to me, and he was basically kind of saying, wow, she got through this grief. And so it was really kind of surprising to me. But it helps me kind of be strong for my boys, so that I can kind of, hope that through their lives that they're, happy and successful. C.S. Lewis wrote a great book. Of course, he wrote the Narnia Chronicles, but he also wrote a book called A Grief Observed, and he wrote it when his wife died. And in the book, he talked about how losing someone that close to you was like having your leg cut off, and how the wound heals eventually, but you're never going to be a biped again. And that is kind of a very accurate, description. You learn how to walk again, with crutches or a prosthetic, and the pain, the outward pain goes away, but there's always a little bit of phantom pain, right? And you do adjust, but life's different. So, but it still can be good. It's a good life.